What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shuggy from Shook Earth Media, and today we're taking a look at a new show called Rabbit Hole. It's on Paramount Plus, and I would describe it as a combination of Better Call Saul and 24. At least in this first episode, it's about the seedy world of corporate espionage and a massive global conspiracy mixed with kind of a fun Robin Hood-ish caper. So it's an interesting combination of storytelling, and I've never really seen a show exactly like this. Let me know if you've seen one like it in the comment section down below. But it stars Kiefer Sutherland as John Weir. He is a guy who is trying to... he has a company that basically tricks corporate companies into making decisions that his clients want them to make. And his motivation is pretty much to mess with rich people. So it's kind of like Better Call Saul in that he's setting up these elaborate scams, and that's one of the most fun parts of Better Call Saul is when Saul, Jimmy, and Kim are working on these elaborate schemes, and you get to see them play out. There's a very similar scene to that in this episode, but you mix that with a corporate conspiracy that seems to be international in scope. A lot of mystery in this show, a lot of suspense as well. This show throws a lot of curveballs at you, and I think it's a lot of fun. We're going to break it down real briefly here. The first scene is like a teaser scene with our character John Weir in a confessional booth. And he seems to be really paranoid and lost. There's a lot of quick cuts, a lot of close-ups, a lot of camera angles that let us know that something is not right here. And that, I think, sets up this tone really well. And it shows the kind of guy that he is, that he has no one to turn to. Or maybe this is another one of his elaborate schemes as well. He's tricking the priest into doing something he wants. Who knows? You don't know what that first scene is by the end of the first episode. The first two episodes are out, but I only watched this first one before I do this breakdown. So I really like how we start with that. It really sets the tone. And here we get a scene. I will say this episode, it takes a bit to get going. You got to give it 10 minutes before you decide whether you want to stick with it or not. Because you watch this first scene, you don't realize the complexities of what's going on here. He is actually setting up a scheme here. It really seems like he's just drinking at a bar, and then he meets with a woman, and then he goes back to her hotel. That's what it seems like on the surface, but then you get to see how the scheme actually played out, and he's actually scamming this guy here. He made a whole fake news report to make the guy think that he was, or his company that he was invested in was manufacturing a drug that caused cancer. So he was basically made a panicked call to a Japanese market to pull all their money out, and that's because his clients hired him to do that. So it's a really elaborate scheme, but you don't know that it's happening because on the surface level, you're focused on Kiefer Sutherland's character. You're focused on his little chance meeting with this woman here, and it turns out that this woman here is part of a scam on him. By the end of the episode, it's one of the mysteries of this episode is who is this woman? Why is she so interested in talking with him? So basically, they sleep together, and then he wakes up to find a microphone in the alarm clock, and he assumes that she is a corporate spy just like he is, and that is basically the premise we start with. And it's really cool that we get all these surface level mysteries that seem obvious on the surface, and then it's flipped on its head by the end of the episode. And now the next scene here, we get introduced to a cop character named Joe Maddie, I believe. And we get the paranoia overarching this whole episode is that John is being followed, and we see cars trailing him, and he thinks that it might be the police. She's an investigator of some kind. We get a little hints into Joe's character. I think she's going to be important down the line. She seems to be kind of concerned for him in a way. She's definitely investigating him. She's onto him. She knows he's committing crimes. And, I like the complexity that, she's got her daughter with her, and we're learning about her family life. She's got a new wife, presumably she was divorced from the father, or, maybe they weren't married before, but there's complexity there. So I'm really curious to get more into her character. And now we are in the office that John's company, and these are all the people that are involved in the schemes that he does. So we basically get established to John's family as well. He has a son and a wife that he divorced. So it's his ex-wife, I suppose you would say. So he's being trailed in this scene, and it almost feels like, based on everything so far, that this scene here is some type of scheme on his part. I don't know if he's trying to suss out the people trailing him, but it really feels like he's almost using his family as another pawn in one of his schemes. But I don't know that we're gonna get deeper into that. There's definitely some mysteries with his family. There's a mysterious, terrible thing that happened in his youth, and that is a big overarching theme of the episode as well. He's got a secret communication word game app. It's like a front for another communication with somebody who knows. There's a lot of mysteries set up we don't get the answer to in this first episode. And then here is where the episode really kicks into gear. We have a tech company that is responsible for analyzing data, and for the police and other corporate clients as well. So the tech company is paying John to make it look like a company that is about to be investigated by the Treasury Department, that the investigator is in bed with the corporation. So they set up an elaborate scheme to get the CEO and the lead investigator to meet, and then they're going to take photos of them. And this is when I instantly thought of Better Call Saul, because we hear about the elaborate scheme here, and then it is executed perfectly, and it seems far-fetched on the surface, but then I remember Better Call Saul, and I was like, yeah, those schemes are kind of far-fetched too, and that's part of what made it interesting and fun to watch, and it really is believable. You know, they learn these people's routines, and they exploit everything that they know about them. And I think it's really fun to watch this scene, and I had at this point, I'm like, okay, so this is the show. We're going to get every episode, he's got a different scheme, he's got a different client, we're going to deal with all these different schemes that they have going on, and that's going to be each episode. But then, by the end of this first episode, it's completely flipped on its head, and we are thrust into a huge conspiracy. Basically, John gets framed for murder, it seems, based on the thing that he was hired to do. So really interesting, and he meets up with the woman that he hooked up with at the beginning of the episode, and then right at that point, he is on the billboards as a wanted murder suspect, and that's when everything goes crazy. So, and I don't want to spoil everything for you guys. I want you guys to check this out for yourselves. I do recommend it at this point, but let me know if you guys want me to continue covering it. We'll do breakdowns of each and every episode, go a little bit more in detail. I'm doing this first review to test the waters to see if there's any interest in that. But I'm definitely interested in the show. I want to watch more of it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hit me with the like if you like. If you want to see more reviews, definitely hit subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.